on the replay.
Niemand kijkt naar op die online. Maar het is live. Neem van mij.
to welcome all of you. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Mrs. Upton. I'm also a musician at heart and very proud teacher of Empangeni High School. And it is so nice to see. I always tell the children, if you know where you come from, you know where you're going. And history has been made in the music scene for the last few years, 20 years of history, and I can't wait for the future that's still going to happen. That's in the hands of these children that work so hard. I want to welcome all of you. We are one of the few music schools in KZN, and all of you have some bond with music. And our principal, Mrs. Warne, said something at the beginning of this term. He said, if you want to go alone, it's an African proverb, if you want to go alone, you go far. But if you go together, you go very far. And I'm sure that we will reach boundaries. And I'm so honored to be here. Mrs. Warne, thank you for this beautiful day that you allowed us to have. I think that's a Christmas tree. A Christmas present. We have such an important task. We hold lives in our hands every day. And it's a task that's sometimes unrecognized, but if you see students that's been part of the school and that are here today, they're actually making a living as a musician. We know that if we touch one child, we succeeded. And that is what our aim is. And we want to touch every child that we can reach. Now it's my privilege to welcome Mrs. Pretorius, Mama P. We all know her as Mama P. Her resume is extremely long. She's an accomplished woman, a matriarch, the leader of the pack. Been part of this music center for 30 years, more or less. I think Mrs. Pretorius was first, and then Ma'am came. And she's an HOD of the school, not actually of language. She can spell, I can't spell. I just make music, I just read notes. Mrs. Warne had to correct me numerous times on my spelling. Master's degree, Master of Ceremonies at the moment, Mrs. Pretorius.
This block is dangerous with me and Mrs. Upton on it. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my privilege to welcome all our guests of honor. We are so glad to have you here tonight. I want to especially thank our district director, Mr. D.S. Onfo. Oh, and the learners made me practice that this afternoon. And apparently I got 4 out of 10 for it. We also want to welcome the CES of Umhlatuzi CNC, Mr. Dube. Welcome, Mr. Dube. We are honored with your presence. The district coordinator, Mr. J. Kanile, you will be late. And then the acting circuit manager of Ngulazan Ward is Mr. D.B. Biela. Welcome to you all. We are very glad to have you here. We are honored and we hope you enjoy the evening. There are also lectors from surrounding universities. I know that there are people from UKZN and GNIZU. The principals from surrounding schools. I don't know you all personally, but I know Orlando principal is here, as well as St. Catherine's principal. I've seen. There might be more, but please come and introduce you afterwards to me. The ex-principals of EHS, you've seen them. Oom Gert Smith. We are so privileged to have you here, Oom Gert. And there's Mrs. Zelma van Heerden, better known as Zelma van Thier. Well, welcome here to all of you. Then we also have members of the EHS governing body, and they are the people who support the music all the way through. We are privileged. If I speak to other schools, they say, how do you get this right? And I can immediately say, principal, governing body. So the answer is easy. We have a very supportive governing body, and thank you for that. We appreciate it. Then our honored principal of EHS, the youngest principal I think we've ever had. Sorry, Mrs. Mathieu, Mr. Zwane, welcome and thank you for your support. And allow me just to say, we had to hand in our budgets in the week. And he said, Mrs. Pretorius, your budget is too low. I said, woof, I'm used to Mrs. Mathieu. he said, think big. And I said, how big? Very big. Thank you, Mr. Zwane, for your support. We really appreciate it. Then the EHS, there are members of the EHS, SMT, and staff members also present here. Fellow music colleagues from other schools, thank you for your presence. We all know teaching music is not easy. Everyone thinks it's easy because you're working one-on-one most of the time, but they don't know that one-on-one takes a toll. But my music colleagues will understand. If a learner hasn't practiced these scales, it's a nightmare, you know that, and it sounds terrible. People from far, I know there are professional musicians from far. Please allow me to welcome Salvador. Me and Mrs. Upton and Mrs. Van der Merwe have to accompany tonight, and we said, they all said, is Salvador going to be there? And they're all in fear to play in front of them. We also have some of our suppliers here, and then all our ex-scholars that's also here. Thank you for supporting our music center. We are so glad that you came from far. And then the choir, the band, the music students were very special. And we as teachers are privileged to teach you. Welcome to your world. Thank you. Mrs. Upton said, I'm here for 30 years, then Mrs. Van der Merwe is here 10 years more than me. So she's here she has been with the music center for 40 years. Mrs. Van der Merwe, a precious friend and colleague.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to tell you a story about how I can become a music student at Empangeni High. We used to live in Matuba, and I had to go into a bush to the lady who used to teach me music. And when I came to Empangeni High, my brothers, we were in the hostel. And this was the main hostel for we were a big family, 7, and 5 of my brothers was in this hostel. And one of them also was a head boy. And one of them also, I think, Mr. Gert, Johan Breyer, he lived with you for a while. So Mr. Smith is so special for me. He gave me this job. After university, I just go and ask him, sir, I really need a job. I'm finished with school. He said, come on, go, we'll make a job. And I used to be in a tiny little office at the back of the old music center. And there I used to teach and sing. So as the years went by, I went and grew bigger, and I was stronger in many ways. And also, when he said to me, I had the girls' choir, the boys of the mixed choir for many years, and he said to me, now you're going to do the girls of the band as well. Because Mr. Bear was there and I had to help him a while. But luckily we had that little band. It was a marching band. Just viols and trumpets. That was just for a few years, and then the army came to help us out. So we didn't have all this dance stuff that now I'm gone. But I'm so glad I'm not doing. Mr. Gerard, Mr. Smith, we're so honored. I'm so honored that you're here tonight. You were my future. You gave me a future. And I was a scholar here, and then I went to university, I came back, and I'm still here. So I don't know when I'm not going to be here. So I don't know, you'll see. But I had many support also from Mrs. Van Heerden. Zama, you supported me through rough times. I went through rough times, and but I must say I'm stronger. And I just want to give a message to the young ones out there. Don't never give up. Give your best, even if it's not. It's your best. And that is what I want to say. I always say I did give my best, but I didn't. And then, after my rehab, I said, I'm going to give my best. And I'm giving my best. And I'm so privileged for all of this that happened. So big. We were so tiny. The other day, me and Renee were saying, how did we last in that sector that we had? We thought it was a big place. The music center there, the other place. But here it's so big. Now, it's now nearly too small. So we're going big, mister. Thank you. I want to introduce Revere the Brain. He's also an old scholar of us. He's a teacher here now. Okay, so right, I need you to give a speech first. And Mr. Fair, right? People, give me a warm welcome. Just hello and everyone.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all, so many pupils of Empangeni. I hope that you all are involved with the music department. Yes. Is it yes? Yes. This side? Yes. That's what I want. The thing is this, that one do land up in situations in your life which are excellent, good, but you also have situations where you can't use your music talent after school. Now the problem nowadays that most schools stopped, or departments, that's all over the country. Woodwork, metalwork, we should have a clear look at that again. Because there are so many boys sitting around, not able to do a thing, and to earn money. But there's one case that I would like just to show you what happened in our schools where they still have metalwork and wood. This guy, he went from, I think he was in Elwell North, but eventually he landed up in Zasman. Now there, he met his boss and he started with woodwork. And about 2-3 months ago, I went to the same workshop where he is working. That workshop belongs to him now. The most beautiful furniture that you can imagine come from that guy. But the other friends, he still got a lot of friends, got nothing. They don't get jobs. So I think our Department of Education, not only here, all over South Africa, must think again. Our children are not getting jobs. We all know that. All of our children can't go to universities. And how many pupils, old scholars, goes to varsity, come back, got a degree, no job. So, especially these practical, well, I'm talking about the woodwork and metalwork and those, but be glad that music is still available to us here at this school. And I'm so pleased to see so many of you. I believe you are 101 pupils involved with this subject. And that brings us to the teachers whom you've got. First of all, I would say our school principal here, Mr. Zwane, is playing a big role as far as the music is concerned. Well, I know he's got to care for every subject and every teacher. I think he's also carrying a heavy duty as far as what is happening here at present. I don't think there's a school in the country, except music schools, who can compete with this. I think it's the biggest accommodation that we can think and hope to get at any school in the country. We are really proud to come back here and see what happened. Now, for those who don't know, the children, the boarders, especially the boys, this hostel was nearly empty, and the principal organized this whole lot to go and join the girls in the boarding establishment on the other side, all the girls' hostel. I would like to congratulate on that move. Dan wil ek sê, vir elkeen van hierdie mense wat by die musiek betrokke is, daar is nou 4, 5 van hulle. Ek ken ongelukkig nie al 5 nie, ek het 2 nuus ontmoet vanaand. Maar aan julle, net die beste. Ek kan nog daarlang praat hier, as ek vir julle vertel wat vroeër jare gebeur het in die musieklokaal. Die musieklokaal is, julle weet almal waar dit is, ek praat nie van die ouers nie en die ander gaste nie. Ek praat met die kinders en die onderwysers wat hier betrokke is. Die klaskamers daarbo was langs die tiklokaal en die musieklokaal. En gedurig is daar 'n probleem. Want, jy weet as jy 'n tikmasjien tik, nou dit was nog die ou tikmasjien. Dan sê ek, en dan 2 geleidlik, dan sê ek, wauw! En as jy om 3 en 4 en 5 en jy kom by 35 uit, want dit was die getalle gewees van die, wat in 'n tikklas gehuisves was. Nou ja, dan kan jy nou dink, nou is daar nog 'n klavier, net 1 noot te druk, is reg. As jy 2 druk, of 3 of 4, neem die klank net toe. En wie hou skool reg langs hulle? Hulle is ongelukkig oorlede. Sy vrou, Ronald sy vrou, was die, she taught typing. And Reynold, her husband, taught mathematics up in the first classroom where you always hear that the music is on the go and the typing is running fine. And then they've had lots of problems. But eventually, we moved her husband a little bit further away, and we put other classes in there whose teachers didn't mind. Anyway, congratulations again for this wonderful change that we have here. I think we all appreciate it. And thank you from my heart that you people are doing such a fine job here.
I cannot tell you how excited I am to be standing here. I didn't prepare a speech because I'm not the principal anymore, so I can talk from my heart. The only thing I'm trying to get used to is the Mrs. van Heerden, very funny now. Then the other thing I thought I had to dress up tonight and try and wear high heels because I'm only used to gum boots now. But nevertheless, President Director, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, scholars, what a privilege to be here tonight. But first of all, I want to say to Mr. Zwane, congratulations, sir. I am so glad they chose you as the principal, and I know you're the right man, and I want to say congratulations and good luck with all the challenges. Let's congratulate you. Then I also want to say something. I'm privileged tonight to be here with Mr. Smith. I also arrived at the school and served on the SMT with Mr. Smith for many, many years, and he taught me a lot of things. But we had two things in common. The one was, and that's the most important, we were both maths teachers, so we understood one another. But the second thing we had in common, we loved music. And he made sure that music was alive at Empangeni High School. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Smith, that is 26 years ago. So 26 years later, music is still the heart of the school. And you know what, I said to Mrs. Pretorius and company, the one thing they're going to miss at the school are the happy noises of music. Because it was on that side, and I can't tell you how excited I sometimes was when I walked out of my office and I heard, whether it was false sounds or not, but there was something coming from the music center that I loved. And I'm sorry for the admin and teachers on that side, you're going to miss it, because it's something that goes with a music center. But I need to mention that I was a principal for a couple of years, and I often spoke to principals and music teachers of other schools. I'm still part of this for tonight, we still have the biggest music center in the province. We still have the most learners with the least teachers. Now that was always a big story between myself and Mrs. Pretorius, because this didn't come now. It was about 5 years ago, I think, when she started with the first proposal on my table, wanting to expand. I said, but why do you want to expand? We can't afford it. And she kept on saying, but the number of learners are increasing. And I said, but stop it. You know, don't take in any more. And that was the one thing she couldn't do. Even some of you will recall, when we went to do marketing at schools, she would look at these learners and say, hey, you look like a drummer. Oh, you look like the drum major, or you're going to play the piano. And so people that have never ever taken music actually became part of the music center. And I always say, if you can achieve that, if you can inspire learners to do something and get to love it, you've achieved something. I also, one other thing of the music teachers as such, you know, sometimes I would have received emails from schools where they invite the band or the orchestra, band, orchestra, or choir to participate. And I would look at the email and say, bad timing, June exam, parents are going to complain, where are we going to get the money from? Because I was the hard one on money. with that, Mr. Zwane, I'm glad that you say the budget must go up. I think we must give him a round of applause. The nice thing was always that email came back with a couple of words, "We are going." And then I was scared to ask how. How are you going to convince the parents and how are you going to pay? And she always said, "Don't worry." And that goes for all the music teachers. The passion and the enthusiasm that they've got for the music centre is absolutely unbelievable. And I was fortunate to work with them and to work with you as the scholars. And with this, I need to say that I was very unfortunate not to go to the national competition, choir competition, but I still get goosebumps and I get emotional if I think of the band competitions where you had won, and at the national competition last year when we won for the first time. And with this, I want to say congratulations for winning it once more. So let's congratulate. Back to where this the music centre started. The department wanted to close the hostels. I had a lot of the big notches in my office trying to convince them, please don't close the hostels. A lady from Pietermaritzburg drove all the way. We had a nice conversation. I had my best presentation up trying to convince her. Whether it helped or not, I don't know, but at the end of the day, they did not close the hostels, but we had to amalgamate. And this is when we saw the opportunity. And I knew, and I'm sitting here with all the departmental officials, I said to the music department and the staff, I said, you know what, guys, if we don't occupy this space, they're going to take it back. So to Mr. Nkonko, sorry, no offices in this place. It is a music centre now. And okay, it's on again. And with this, we've got the music centre. I'm privileged to be here tonight. It was lovely to walk in there. I love the red. I don't know who chose the colour, but keepers that guy or lady has got a lot of taste. So I'm happy to see the red. The disappointment are the curtains. Mr. Zwane, I hope this is what the budget is for. We definitely need curtains here. So I hope that will be there. But I just want to say one thing. This would not have been possible without the wonderful SGB that we had. And I want to salute them, the previous SGB and the new SGB. Thank you very much for allowing this. And I really hope that you are going to give a lot of money so that we can jack it up even more. But then I also want to, in the absence, Mrs. Van der Merwe, I'm sorry, but I think we must also give a lot of credit to Mr. Brits. He's the asset manager in the school, and we had numerous meetings, and he was always willing to change. And he had to wait a long, long time before we gave the go-ahead, but at the end of the day, we are done. To the music teachers, for your passion, your enthusiasm, your dedication, I wish you the best of luck. To the music learners, don't use the music centre only to go and bump. And don't use the excuse, we didn't hear the bell. And then lastly, don't use that little farmer piece. I haven't seen them. Don't use them to get used to certain or get to know somebody from the opposite sex. With all this, ladies and gentlemen, scholars, have a ball. Thank you very much. Nkulu kulu aan die boesies. Thank you.
We're going to ask for Emile de Bruin. He's one of our students and also full-time student, teacher here. He's going to present us a short video clip. can just face that way a little bit and then you can see the picture.
What's the rule?
Only 2 more practice room.
Let's go.
Sorry, sir.
And the new is in, with the new music center officially opening. Yes!
Welcome to the new music center.
Right here, right now, I blow the offer out. I wanna cheat you down. I know you see it. You run with me, and I can cut you free. Out of the treachery, the walls you keep in. So trade that typical for something colorful. And if it's crazy, live a little crazy. You can play it sensible, a king unconventional.
I just want to say they're still not open to the music practice room. They still crowd the practice rooms, but it's part of the fun. I want to introduce you to Mr. De Bruin. He's one of our ex-students that's also a full-time educator now, Mr. De Bruin.
Good evening, everyone. As one of the youngest music teachers with regards to all these fabulous ladies, and of course my colleague Storm, actually Storm's younger than me. So Mr. Bluffner's youngest, I'm the second youngest. We have the privilege to actually be here tonight with regards to the development that the teachers had on us. And with their inspiration and their motherhood onto us, we would not have been here. And that clearly shows what we can bring into the next scholars that will also be, hopefully, one day music teachers. But above all music teachers and everything, the past principals had one of the major influences for us. And I, unfortunately, or I should say fortunately, I can only put my emphasis on Mr. Zwane. Not only for myself, but also for the kids and for the fellow staff at school. If I have to say, he is definitely stepping in a big footstep, which Mrs. Mathieu left as well. But I have to say, he's filling it quite nicely. I have to say as well, if we as teachers and the school children can see, I have not seen Mr. Zwane not attend one activity at school. Yeah. Small info, which a lot of people don't know yet. Mr. Zwane, I heard you play soccer. Again, a principal going out of his way to go play soccer with a young scholar. That says a lot, okay? You might be a leader, but the only way you can do that is by being with someone. Build, be there, and support. And that is exactly what we want to say thank you for, and I really appreciate everything that you've done so far for the Music Centre, and for us and the scholars. I kindly introduce you, Mr. Zwane.
District Director, Mr. Tomo, CS of Umtatu, the CMC, Mr. S. Dube, Second Manager, Mr. Biela, District Coordinator, Arts and Culture, Mr. Kanyile, and I wish to recognize the District Coordinator of Umkanyagude, Mabugoza, officials of the department, members of the SGP, Deputy Chairperson, Mr. Killick, and our Treasurer, Mrs. Montala, Secretary Mrs. Congreve, and Mr. Mtem, who is a member of the SGB. I recognize your presence today. Former SGB members, Dr. Swan is here. Former principals, Mr. J. Smith and Mrs. Z. Van Yerden, known as Mrs. Mathieu. Former principals of schools, musicians, I recognize Dr. Griffith Kanyile, present here. Representatives from UKZN, Mr. Mkwanazi from the UKZN School of Opera, and members of staff from the University of Zululand, EHS staff, and SMT, parents, wonderful learners, ladies and gentlemen, receive my warm and heartfelt greeting this evening. I wish to thank you for honoring this invitation and say that it takes a village to raise a child. I wish from the onset to thank the former principals of EHS for having laid a strong foundation for the school in general, but the music center in particular. Mr. F. Berger, Mr. S. Jacobs, C. Corbett, Mr. N. Cronier, and Mr. F. Thibault. I might not have worked with Mr. J. Smith, but your contribution remains alive in the systems of EHS. And I must indicate that you highlighted one important point of ensuring that we pay our attention to technical work or technical subjects. For this reason that the school is reintroducing mechanical technology grade 10 next year. And we have started a craft club in the school, and we have prepared old sewing machines so that we address or direct our learners to that direction. Having had the privilege of working with Mrs. Natia, now known as Mrs. Van Erden, I must say it was a great experience indeed. Your passion for music and excellence in all areas in the school is what produced this center. From your leadership, we learn to think out of the box. Thank you very much, ma'am, for laying the foundation. This is the product of quality leadership, this music center that we're opening today. Today, the famous words of Isaac Newton are relevant when he said, if I've seen further than others, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants. Mrs. Matia is that giant that laid a strong foundation in this school. Thank you, ma'am. And Frans Fanon, a great philosopher, is indicating that out of relative obscurity, each generation must discover its mission, fulfill it or betray it. And we affirm today that as this generation will never betray the good work done by our leaders who have been in this school. With all having been said, I must say that behind a successful school, there is a dedicated teacher. Allow me to acknowledge the team behind this center. Mrs. Pretorius, who's the HOD for languages and head of this center, has been instrumental in ensuring that this dream becomes a reality. Thank you very much, Mrs. Pretorius. Mrs. Van der Merwe, a veteran in the music fraternity who served the school for many years, and her love for music is really amazing. And I must indicate that we must correct history when we say 2017 or 2018. Those are the first years where Empangeni went to the national finals. In fact, it was 2004. Under the leadership of Mrs. Van der Merwe. She took the choir to the national finals 2004. Mrs. L. Upton, known as Sumanko. A hard-working individual who has changed the lives of many children through music. In 2018, she became a national champion with our girls' choir, obtaining a historic mark of 94. She made history by going through a territory that is predominantly for African conductors. She made history, and we say, well done, Mrs. Upton. Again, in 2017, she led EHS choir into winning 85 national finals. I move also to Mr. Debray, who's part of the young blood in the center. I normally interact with him because I know young people, when you give them a task, they run fast. He conducts the concert band, which I refer to as EHS Mini Orchestra, and is coaching the marching band. In 2017, was awarded the best conductor in the SA National Band Championship. Mr. S. Note, who's our ex-scholar and now a student teacher, his energy and experience adds value to this school, and we are grateful that he decided to rejoin the school after spending a year in the US. I must also salute our SGP and SMT for having taken a decision to allow relocation of this music center. Now, the important part to say, what is the purpose of having this music center? Music center has a package of music educational skills. Our learners, they learn to develop, or they learn the development of language and reasoning when it comes to music. As a life sciences teacher, I must say that if you expose a child to music, the left side of the brain develops. Then they also learn the mastery of memorization because they're exposed to a number of music scores. Learners stay engaged in school. And I must say that some learners apply for admission at Empangeni High School because of music. So they stay engaged in school, they avoid social ills. Because we live in a society where we have many challenges. So when they are kept here, we must be grateful as parents. Emotional development. They learn to appreciate different cultures. For example, last year they took to national the African song in Sipedi. They won in KZN, the opposition free national. These learners, they also sing Afrikaans, national champions in Afrikaans this year. They also sing Italian, so they learn to appreciate other cultures. This stimulates also critical thinking, that is music, because they are able to conduct research, interpret music. Discipline, this is one aspect that comes with music. You see, well-dressed, they were here on time, that is discipline. So it comes from music education. Competitiveness in the economy. I must indicate that in the 21st century, the workforce is dominated by artists. If you look in the world, people who dominate or who make money are artists. So if we channel our learners in that direction, I think we are making the right decision. They learn teamwork, self-confidence, and they are exposed to a number of things. What is offered in this music center? We offer music as a subject from grade 8 to 12, which includes voice instruments and the history of music. External examination with UNISA, Trinity College of London, where learners, they attend music grades. We have a choir in this music center, which not only involves learners that take music, even learners that do not have music as a subject are part of the choir. More than 90 members. And I must say that this choir, 2017, they became national champions in the South African Schools Estate Board, the national anthem, winning 15,000, and in the 80 competition. 2018, they became the national champions for AU and Africans and female boys, getting a total prize of 45,000. And I must indicate that 45,000, that is not just cash prize. As a school, we are going to draft a wish list and send it to the department towards developing any area in the school. The concert band performs in prestigious events, and last year they became second in the SA Nationals. And this year they are going in September to represent the province, and we are confident that they are going to get position 1. There's the marching band, which has won the SA championship for many years, and again this year they will be representing the school. We expose our learners to a number of opportunities. KZN Youth Choir, learners that are part of this choir, they travel many places. Like this year, 4 of them who were part of that choir attended the 2018 World Choir Games. We have KZN Youth Orchestra, and our learners are part of that, and they also attend the Stellenbosch International Festival. Now, where are we taking this center? Because as much as we recognize the work done to this far. We need to then say, where is this school going? Our vision is to expand on disciplines offered in this center by adding, for example, strings or violin and having marimba. That's why I call UKZN Opera School, so that we also introduce opera in this music center. The center is not for Empangeni High School only. We want this center to expand, especially external examinations for UNISA and Trinity College, to teachers around, that is conductors who still want to study music, community members, and also disadvantaged schools. We need to extend our theater. We have a small theater that is still under construction, which is Pretorius. It is for this reason that we have applied for the introduction of drama as a subject in grade 10. We need to partner with institutions of higher learning to give our learners exposure. And the vision also is to say our learners in this center must have annual international tours. In conclusion, I wish to thank the Department of Education, especially Mr. Kongo. We know your office is always supportive when it comes to facilitating approval for international and local excursions and provision of transport. You will normally see that for departmental competitions, we only pay for the first level, second level, province, national is paid by the department. Thank you very much, sir. I wish to thank Mr. Kanyile, who has been supportive, very supportive to the school in a number of ways. The staff of Empangeni High School, thank you very much, the teachers, but especially the ground staff. I wish to recognize the ground staff. We saw the garden outside the school. It looks clean, and we thank them for their contribution. I must say that also Mr. Erasmus, who is an all-rounder, is the one we don't have to call a supplier outside for installation of aircons and everything. He is the one who ensures that we have all these facilities in the music center. As I conclude, we say, like Albert Einstein once said, and I quote, "A person who never made a mistake, never tried anything," unquote. Thank you very much.
I call on Mr. Blichner, the young member, the student teacher, to introduce our speaker.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mr. S. Blichner. I'm the youngest of the young blood. I lead the good charge of all the woodwinds. I headstrong lead about 10 clarinets, 7 flutes, and I think about anywhere between 8 to 11 saxophones. I deal with the shrieking sounds that everybody else sits and blocking their ears. I sit through it, and I guide them and help them to get better as musicians. But this would definitely not be possible without being an ex-colleague under the leadership of Ms. Vanamava, teaching me to play piano, sitting there, hitting me with the ruler, saying that that's wrong, do it again. Then I started to get interested in playing other instruments, so I decided to try all of them. I had Mr. Pretorius support me through all of them. So big thank you to Mr. Pretorius, Ms. Vanamava, and Mrs. Upton guiding me through it. And then I had the great privilege of being accompanied by another male staff, Mr. De Brain, to finally make the male staff not become a minority. This was great. Now we have Mr. Zwane, now we're on equal terms. Who knows, the future. I have now the great privilege and honor to welcome Mr. Ntonko, the District Director of Education. Please put your hands together.
program directors, I did say that there is more than one program director. I got confused when I saw Mr. Mtembu, because as far as I know, he's from the DDG's office. Now, when they introduced him, he was then introduced as a governing body member. So I can see I'm in trouble already. Because if I happen to decline something, he's going to jump to the cap of being a DDG official and then say, Mr. Tom, why are you not approving? But that's the way of Vanessa and my wife from the DDG's office. That's how I'm going to introduce you. To Baba Mgoza from Kanyamud, the Watela Anyela. Zohene, who Baba Umenziwa was the second manager. Shamas from UKZN. The former principals of the school, I know some of them, I do not know some of them, I read about them in documents. Well, I'm lucky today to relate the face to the documents I happen to see in the office. With Mrs. Mati, yeah, we've been together traveling this journey. I was saying to her, she looks fresh and young. I think she must reapply her mind because we do have schools. If you want to come back, particularly you, because you have a maths teacher, tries to reconsider your application. To Empangeni, who's the district coordinator, who's so passionate about cultural activities, including music. Parents that are here, governing body members that are here, learners, someone else. I'm going to be very brief because my main task is just to congratulate the school for the good work that they are doing. But before I do that, I think it's prudent upon me to indicate the sadness we have. From last week Monday, we had a very bad incident that relates to our youngster, a grade 12 learner, a girl child, who's been attending at Kamba Secondary School. He was from the school at about 4 o'clock, traveling back home. She decided to take a shortcut through the bush in company of the friends, but not so close, that is the friends. In the middle of the bush, two culprits that I won't call them human beings, I would call them animals, because I feel strong that they should be treated such. They decided to grab this youngster, this learner, and rape her repeatedly. As if that was not enough, they decided to kill her. As if that one was not also enough, they decided to twist almost all limbs, raping them, almost all limbs. And they had to throw the body into the bush, decided to hang the jersey in that vicinity in the trees. Well, I don't know what mark were they trying to leave, or what statement were they leaving for us. We're happy that the parents of that area decided to move out and look for this youngster. Unfortunately, they could not get her on Monday till Tuesday. And she was found dead lying. And we'll be burying that youngster tomorrow. But I'm happy. I hope there's no media. There's something I want to say. And I don't want to be quoted, but it's fine. Even if they want to quote me, I will repeat it tomorrow in the presence of the media. One of these fellows was found in and around Mandela, and the community decided to grab this fellow and beat him, stab him, shoot him, and they decided to put the tire around his neck. They burnt him alive. Really died. Well, it's something that we're not encouraging the community to do. We'll always encourage people to take this culprits to the police. But I want to say today, if you have animals like that, they must be flushed out of our system and our society. And I'm very firm on that. I'm not apologetic about that. These are our youngsters, they are our future. We rely on them. We want to guard them selflessly. And we'll be very selfish as and when we guard them. And we want to do almost everything that we can think of to ensure that we protect them. So we are moving around addressing them, saying go in twos, threes, so that you're always protected. But we want our society to come up front and support education and the learners and say enough is enough. Here at TM, we want to congratulate the school for the good work they are doing. Mrs. Matsi, well, I did note that they are now introducing you with another surname. I do not know her surname. She has kept the flag high for Empangeni high. I know that she left the system owing me, because we had agreed that come 2017, 2018, I want 100% in terms of pass rate. But I want to say, we've been looking at the results of Empangeni High year in, year out. They don't just give us 80% and above, but they give us quality results. And almost all learners that moves out of this school, they get enrolled in different institutions. And almost everybody wants a learner that comes from Empangeni High. And I must say, in fact, I think your husband is going to have a tough time. And when you start pronouncing names at night, he mustn't think that it's in terms of the boyfriends. You'll be shouting your frustrations in terms of the learners that should be admitted to the school, but you do realize that classes are full. And Mr. Como is behind your back to say, enroll them, enroll them, enroll them, but there's no space. So if you happen to hear Baby, Erasmus, Fred, those are not boyfriends. Those are the learners that are supposed to be enrolled here. But the challenge is the space. And I know we take our challenges home as and when we go through these institutions. But we want to say thank you very much. Baba Uzwane, when there's a change of hands, we always skeptical as the system, because we look forward to good results. And almost all of you will know, whether you talk of Mr. Biela, whether you talk of Mr. Dube, whether you talk of head office, whether you talk of MEC, we don't compromise good results. That's why we always close when schools are appointing principals, HODs, and teachers. And I want to say, the governing body of the school did not make a mistake in appointing Mr. Zwane. And we can we're starting to see where the school is heading to. I was party to another session 2 days ago, Young Scientists, where we were encouraging youngsters. In fact, we were looking at their projects. It's funded by ESCOM. and we could see a unique talent among these youngsters. And I was saying to them, I see hope, I see future in terms of this country. But I know the challenge we've been sitting with the system. One challenge that we've been sitting with is that there is no caring in terms of music. There's been that mentality in the system. So that we push our learners to do mathematics, push our learners to do science, push our learners to do geography. But I want to say, we now realize that there is future in terms of music. There's future in terms of drama. I was chatting with Babu Zoren, checking about this application that we're talking about in Manhattan. If it doesn't get approved, you must know that it's Mr. Dube did not approve. But on a serious note, I want to say, if there's justification now, there's no reason for me not to approve, because it gets approved to my office. So what will receive it, in fact, TLS already has it. We're looking at it. You're going to get a response soon to see what is that we do. Why we do this? It's because we've agreed that learners from grade 9, when they move to grade 10, there's something that we call curriculum differentiation. We now do accept that not almost all learners can pursue their careers academically, but some are strong in terms of certain skills, and we try and assist them to pursue that field. That's why you talk of Bedford Secondary, that is now introducing maritime, and I've approved that. That's why you talk of different schools in and around Empangeni that are starting to introduce school subjects, and we're allowing that. It's because we've realized that not almost all learners will get advance, but they can excel elsewhere. I'm about to sit down. And I want to say, seated in that office as you were talking, we're struggling to get people that can fix desks for us. And we pay exorbitant fees for a mere desk. More than 1,200 rand per desk. In normal desk. We're running short of these people. That's why I decided to apply our minds to say, let's do something about it. And I want to say, thank you very much to the learners of the school. You are doing us proud. Mango. You are doing us proud to have the teachers that are in the music fraternity. I want to say to educators, keep that flag high and fly. To the principal, you are on the right path. But I want my 100% this year. And then the governing body is here. Now when I look at Mr. Tim, I'm looking at him as the governing body person. I want my 100% back. To the parents, keep on supporting the principal and educator of the school. I did receive some calls from body members and to the principal from some of the parents who were complaining, saying the gate is locked and some learners are turned away. I said, governing body members, we're doing right. Principal of the school, we're doing right. You know why we do that? We're protecting learners that are within the school from all the attacks that can think of. And when that parent was raising that, I said, there's an incident that is still fresh in my mind. This stabbing incident that happened behind the school. You were not there. We are protecting the learners. So defend, defend, defend. Flash out the drugs. Martinos. Let's flush out the drugs in the school. I'm not going to expand much. I'll cite these few quotes. The first one says, music is like a dream. Without music, life would be a mistake. Where words fail, music speaks. Music expresses that which cannot be said and on which it is impossible to be silent. Dear music, thanks for always clearing my head, healing my heart, and lifting my spirit. Thank you very much. As a token of appreciation to the school, we had to prepare this present. But I read it to you. Can you please come forward, Baba? SDB person, member, and it's from Mr. DS Tom. He's not here. King the Joy of District Director. The message says, would like to acknowledge and appreciate the all-round educational excellence produced by Mr. S.D. Zwane, that is the principal, the staff, the SGP, and the learners of Empangeni High School in 2018. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. When we started with the program, we decided we're going to ask a few of our ex-scholars to perform tonight. Those that are still practicing. And there was a few available. And thank you for the old scholars that's here tonight as well, to bless us with your presence. The first ex-scholar that's going to perform is Storm Bligner, and he's going to play a duet with one of our grade 12 students, Reinhard. Welcome. You guys can come to the front. Muzov, Malibomwe. Please see them. Can you take this one? While we wait for them to move the podium, just so that we can hear the stage. Now, Reinhard is actually a grade 12 student. I have to say something about him, because we all know Sorum said what he's done in his career, and that he's an ex-student. Reinhard is grade 12. He joined the KZN Youth Orchestra in grade 10 and grade 11. And grade 12, he decided that he's not going to participate. He's focusing on his academics area in his life. Now, he's a leader with Ame for the clarinet section. You will see each section in the orchestra when they sit. The person at the end is the leader. There's one leader, the best is always chosen. So it will be number 1, and then number 2, and number 3. And if there's, I think there's like 7 trumpets. So James is the first trumpet, and then we go up to the, not that the last one is the weakest, it's just the weaker one that's grade 8 that's not chosen, right? So, but Reynard is number 1 clarinetist, and you will hear that he is good enough to perform with Thorn. We have a joke that the woodwinds can't take. They can't keep their beat. They don't have the ability, none of them. From Storm, I think he's the culprit because his influence is maybe going through to the rest. But I think you're doing very well. So good luck with the tempo on this one.
Thank you, you too. Welcome. Now I call on one of our instruments, You need loves to perform, but you don't have to ask these questioning. Sipelo will be accompanied by a great 11 learner on the piano. He's actually a drummer, but tonight he's going to play the piano. And that is Young, or we call him Young. Young Disul and Sipelo Masina.
The next participant that will be singing a beautiful solo is Amay Upton, and she's also a grade 12 scholar in the Music Centre. She is currently doing a grade 8 vocal exams with Trinity, and sorry. She was part of the KZN Youth Choir from grade 9 to grade 11, and she is still currently one of the section leaders for the marching band and concert band. So you can clearly see that she does take music seriously, and as you can see, ex-scholars as well as them currently doing the performance tonight, the love for music flows. So I hope you guys will enjoy this as well. The piece she'll be doing tonight is a very intimate piece. Without a microphone. Okay, so I'll put this thing away. Alright, hope you enjoy.
Asking as little as you can. swear I'll give my life for you.
Testing. I now get the privilege of introducing our next instrumentalist. We have Yukukonke Kanene, please practice that. He is our greatest euphonium player in matric. He is part of the Keswick Youth Orchestra, and he's done his grade 7 in euphonium. We're going to have together for Yukukonke.
Specialist. I'm not a pianist, but I promise Nico, if he plays, I will accompany him. So, no pressure. I'm no pressure, but I'll do it when he is my ear.
Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, Seramelia Maniati is sick. She can't be here tonight. So I'm going to use that opportunity to hear if there's any ex-scholar that want to quickly say something. Siyabonga, are you here? He said he wanted to say something. Siyabonga. Gumi. Oh, yeah, he is.
Good evening, everybody. Do this to address this to the current music students, whether it's the music students, choir, everybody in the band. I don't think you guys realize privilege that you have, having this music center, having this school. And why I say that is, I realized it. I think there's a saying that says that you don't realize you have something along the lines of yes. Yeah, so when I matriculated, I pursued studies outside of music, I did IT. So the first year of university, I realized that there was something missing. I'm going to lectures, doing IT stuff, and well, now I'm like, there's no music center. If I'm finding lectures, there's no music center to run to. Yeah, so I begged my parents for a saxophone. They bought it for me. The year after that, I re-auditioned for KZN Youth Orchestra. That's how much I actually missed music tuition. So cherish this. All the music students, cherish it. It's precious. Thank you.
Okay. That was our replacement for Sinomili Manyati. I move on now to also one of our ex-scholars, Tina Mashiane. He's well known. Because the child read Tina is the son of Dr. Jackie Mashale, who passed away a few years ago. He was at the University of Zululand, a well-known lecturer. And he was one of our best trumpet students. We are so glad to have you back. He's currently working at Empangeni as part of multi-choice. And he said he has the most lovely job. He watches TV the whole day. He's the guy that must see that everything is of high standard and good quality before it goes out to the public. Tina, come and celebrate your talent.
All right, that was beautiful.
Just before the girls' choir will sing, Mr. Zwane wants to say a word or two. There are instruments that need to be donated officially to the school by Mr. Gold.
We want to officially hand over these instruments that were won by the school in 2017 as a token that this school is really excelling in terms of music. And I would want to invite the principal of the school. It's heavy, Jane. Very heavy. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I'm going to mention one by one what is it that is here. The gentleman is lifting up a piano, a Roland piano. This pack that I'm carrying on my left-hand side, it's a guitar for the school. And this box that is carried by the two bandolis, it's a drum set for the school. We realize that there's no opportune chance that like this one to offer this equipment because you're opening up your music center. So this comes handy to you because it's going to fit to this room. Well, I must say, Mr. Mate, or Miss Mate, I still miss my office that side. I had an office here and she chased me away. But I'm happy now that it's a music center and we're now saying, let music play on with this equipment. And I'm aware that even this year, they are likely to get something. In fact, they have to get something. If I may say, I did get an indication from the Minister of Education nationally that she would want to visit the school because this is the first school that is excelling in the country and that is mixed in terms of races. Different schools have tried, they failed, but Empangeni High is excelling and is exemplary. And Minister A.J. Mosefa would want to come down and congratulate the school as a way of saying, keep up the good work. Thank you very much.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, before all these beautiful young ladies will perform for you, just a small history with regards to what's going on. This year, our school choir decided to put together a female voices group for the Sasuke competition, national, and again, in such a way that I even went out of my classroom to come and watch them practice. And that is just how good they are. They don't need practice. I have to make you guys look good. No, I'm just kidding. They are beautiful young ladies, and their voices will suit what you see on stage. They have actually been awarded with a platinum qualification, or a platinum standard at the Sasuke National Competition with a 94% average. So that will tell you exactly what you'll get here tonight. I hope you enjoy it.
In 2016, we went, he was at somewhere else, and I was here. And then one of our students, Jan Brits, he's a grade 12 student, music student, came to me and I said, "Ma'am," he lives in Richards Bay, I never thought he was calling me. He said, "Where we stay, there near the airport, there's a school there and their choir sings and they are amazing." So then Mr. Kanile came and he told me, "Mrs. Upton, come please do the Sasuke for us." And I said, "Okay, sir, we will do it." And it was my first try, and we sing Vortebis, one of the nicest songs from Nielsen. I can't remember the composer, I think Nielsen. And then we went to Ishowe, and then we met him there, and his choir, the one that was, the boy said that was so good, was participating against us. And then from there we went to the Articafia, and that night Mr. Kanile phoned me and said, "I'm very sorry, but you came second." And I thought, oh. And I said, "Who won?" And he said, "No, Birdswood won," and that was Mr. Zwane. And I decided, that's the last time he will beat me. And as soon as that music came, I got it. We started practicing. That was still in November, I think. I decided, he will not beat me again. And we started practicing, and it went well. In January, after the holidays, it was the 2 days, before school started, and it was meetings, and I came into the staff room, and who sits there? Mr. Zwane. And my whole plan of revenge just fell flat. And I thought, what the hell am I going to do now? And I had to regroup, and I have to say, Mia, I am so glad we're a team. And it's not my, he says it's my choir, it's not just my choir. He is not at practice because he's so busy this last 2 weeks. We miss him dearly, and he is really part of, and I said it last year. One thing, sir, 2 things. First thing, if you want to work for something, if you want to have something done, you have to work for it. You have to fight for what you want. That's the first thing he told me. And I said it last year in tears in the staff room. And the second thing he told me, and he's still teaching me, is never mind. It happens, what's happening, let it happen. We will be working. So thank you so much for your vision, and Angete, jy is my boetie. Baie dankie. This song is for him. Listen to the lyrics. It's about, you said of a dream in me, and you will never give up. Oh, and Rihanna is going to attempt today for the first time to play it.
Trying to hold my breath, let it stay this way. Can't let this moment stay. You set up a dream in me, getting louder now. Can you hear it echoing? Take my hand, will you share this with me? 'Cause darling, without you, all the shine of 1,000 spotlights, all the stars who steal from the night sky will never be enough, never be enough. Towers of gold are still too little. These hands could hold the world, but it'll never be enough, never be enough for me. Never, 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 never for me, for me. Never enough, never enough, never enough for me, for me, for me. All the shine of 1,000 spotlights, all the stars who steal from the night sky will never be enough, never be enough. Towers of gold are still too little. These hands could hold the world, but it'll never be enough, never be enough for me. Never, never, never for me, for me. Never enough, never enough, never enough for me, for me, for me.
Competition song we sang is Empangeni, and we are privileged. I must say, Sabelo, you are amazing. Some of them just started like 2 weeks ago, so I don't think they know the song that well.
Oh, I got plenty of nothing, and none is plenty for me. I got no car, got no mule, I got no misery. The folks with plenty of plenty got a knock on the door. Afraid somebody's a going to rob the mother out to making
Ladies and gentlemen, we just wait for the sitting band to settle down. It will take a few seconds. Okay, James, are you ready? Let's make it fast. We are sweating, yeah. Thank you, James. We are very privileged today with two exchange students. Giovanni from Italy, and Marco from Spain. Thank you. Now I'm giving it over to Mr. De Bruyn.
Ladies and gentlemen, our award-winning EHS mixed choir.
Conso
to the end of a lovely night. Please feel free to walk through the music center. That side, there are a few practice rooms and our small theatre. And that side is also practice rooms. Adults, feel free to come and join us there with some food and drinks. Learners, just wait a little bit before you join us. Thank you. Thank you.